I think you're getting a little too used to me. What if I stepped on you, short stuff? Of course I'm back. I had another growth spurt, and who else is going to resize my armor? Like I'd trust anyone else with your masterwork. Oh, come here, my friend. Oh, you give the best hugs. So what if your feet aren't touching the ground? All the better to swing you around and let you know how much I missed you. Are you well? Any trouble in the village? I was so worried about you. I'll put you down when I'm ready. It's good to see you too. I'm sorry for being gone so long, really. I wanted to make a return trip, even just for your birthday, but things got out of hand. Once I tracked down that ogre camp, I found out they were in league with the Dark Elves, and they were planning an invasion across the entire island. I know, right? This whole valley, everybody who lives in it. It could have turned into a wasteland. I had to do something. Did you get my letters? Drat. That would be that wicked drow queen. She must have intercepted my post. No wonder she knew so much about me. So I suppose you wouldn't have read anything I'd sent you. Mhm. You know, I was kind of hoping you'd have an answer ready. Might be a little harder to ask in person. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I should explain everything. Mind if I sit? No, you stay right here. I want you close. My lap has to be as comfortable as any of your chairs, right? It's just us. Let's both take it easy. After the revelation at the ogre camp, I rallied a party with some of my Amazon cousins, the ones I trained with in the deepest woods. Then we teamed up with a wizard we met along the way. If you're going on a mission to destroy a dark tower and everything, you've got to have a wizard. Although he turned out to be not quite as useful as we'd hoped. Turns out when it comes to the demolition of strange evil towers, half giantess with a sledgehammer is plenty, and it helped that they had the best armor this side of the ocean. Although I'm starting to wonder if maybe I might be three-quarters giantess. I've never heard of a half giantess still having growth spurts into their adulthood, and mine are coming even faster, if anything. I'm not sure how many of these I can have before I'm just, a giant. Where's the cutoff point? Around the size of a house, perhaps? A castle? I might actually be useless as an adventurer if I can't fit into a dungeon. Maybe I'd have to specialize. No dungeons, only dragons. I'm kidding, but I guess it is something I worry about. Kind of a lot lately. Oh, this? Yes, my chestplate got an awful dent. Some kobolds hit me with a trebuchet, and not like with a rock shot from a trebuchet. I mean, they were trying to hit me with a rock, but something came loose. I heard a snap, and the whole machine flew into the air. The arm nearly snapped my neck. I swear those little lizard jerks get more dangerous every year. Did you know they have blasting powder now? I imagine it'll be years of development before they can blow up anything other than themselves, but still, a trebuchet is enough hazard for me. Thank goodness this helm you made is holding up great. The whole thing only glanced off me. Um, don't worry about that puncture, that's not your fault. There was sort of a fighting pit type situation, and I was matched with this iron bull. It turns out when you charge headfirst against a mechanical cow, nobody wins. Yeah, I remember promising I'd be careful, and I was careful. What about all the dangerous things I didn't do, huh? I turned down a lot of stupid ideas just because I knew you were worrying about me. You were worrying about me, weren't you? I'm a big Amazon. I can look after myself. Look at these biceps. I'm not some damsel or lad in distress. These big, strong arms keep this side of the mountain safe, don't they? If you don't think they're sufficient for protecting little old me, then maybe you can give them a little feel, make sure they're strong enough for your liking. They are bigger. Great exercise adventuring. You like them? Then maybe it wouldn't be so awful if they got a little bigger, huh? If you're concerned about keeping your best customers safe, then I guess these growth spurts aren't all bad. Oh, and these armored boots. Did I tell you that you're a genius? These masterpieces saved my life. Seriously, I did a lot of walking. I don't know how you got the dragon hide to be so comfortable, but these soles are like marching on a cloud. I'm serious, if you ever get tired of beating steel into shape, you could go full time on leatherworking. You really are the full package. Oh, and also they literally did save my life, too. Blistered, battered, and complaining is one thing, but avoiding a snake bite is another. We ended up on a side quest in the swamps of Argon. Something about tracking down a hag who brews invisibility potions. It's a long, long story. You know, I assumed a giant python would have been impossible to miss, but to me it just looked like a regular python. I didn't think much about the poor little guy trying to bite my ankle. I was walking through his swamp, and, you know, turns out the Argonese giant python is literally the most deadly snake in the world. The wizard only managed to tell me that after he ran up a tree like a scared cat. Then he wanted to know who makes my special fang-deflecting boots. But an Amazon's got to have their secrets, right? If every adventurer knew about you, you'd hardly have any time to work on my oversized armor. I hope you don't mind our, exclusive relationship. Sorry, just, it's your stupid smile. It makes it all seem worth it. Every time I missed you, wrote you, wished you were nearby, maybe I just wish that I could see that smile. I don't have a ton of friends. I don't allow myself to have a lot of them, in case I outgrow them. It's happened before. People don't always adjust to looking up at me, and then looking further up at me. But you just seem happy to see me again, and I don't think it's just because I've got a big bag of treasure to pay you for some new steel. I, yeah, I guess I will take some armor repairs. Better to have it and not need it. But I was actually thinking about setting down, taking a break from adventuring, at least until my body decides how much more growing it wants to do. I've got options. I might have written to you about one of my ideas already. Stupid, really. It's kind of a big step, especially for me. I'd feel awful if I tried and failed, but I don't know exactly when I would be ready. Okay, here goes. In my dealings with that swamp witch, I managed to haggle for some magic beans. Not like grow into the sky magic beans, but the kind that will let me grow some massive vegetables. Giant vegetables, you could say. It's nice to have an option, a plan in case I don't stop growing anytime soon. Feeding yourself with hunting and local taverns is basically impossible once you hit a certain size, and I think it would be nice to try to make some stuff instead of breaking things for a change. Farm. Is that a bad idea? I was going to build a little house on the Mesa of Solitude, since nobody else can really get up those cliff faces. Just a one-room cabin, nothing fancy, not for my first year. The soil there is dark and rich. It's not too far from town, but the trouble is, I'm not too crafty. I've never built anything before in my life. It's not like they make carpentry books in my size. You built your forge yourself, right? I thought so. It's got your style. I've got some money set aside. I've been burying it, actually. How would you feel about me hiring you for a year or two? It's not like you haven't worked on long projects for me before. You could come live with me in the mountains. We could build you a new forge first thing after the cabin. I'd need nails, a plow, shingles, maybe some help breaking up the rocks in the field. It's hard work. Everyone knows starting a new farm is the hardest work a person can do, but I'm strong. Maybe I could do it. But I know I could make it with your help. I'm certain, more certain than I've ever been about anything in my life. How could it not work out, you and me? I think we're a heck of a team. More than a team, actually. If you were there, we could make it a heaven. We could build whatever we wanted. A house with a porch at whatever size I need, with lots of room. Rooms, maybe, for, well, a family. If you wanted a family, I mean, I guess. Oh, by the Titans, why did I mention family? Oh, I'm getting this all in the wrong order. You wouldn't, it wouldn't have to be like that. I can keep things separate. But if you're asking, yeah, I know this is totally crazy. I can't just run off with you. I mean, you and me as a couple up on the mesa, just the two of us. How would we ever get anything done? I would get greedy. I usually only get to see you for a few days at a time, but my own personal handy blacksmith, my partner. In the Underdark, you have to want something. You've got to believe in something. When the world's terrible, you need to carry a little light with you. You're my light. I want to follow my dream, and I want you to come with me. And if that's possible, if there's some way I could fit your dreams together with mine, if I could make you happy the way you make me happy. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. You must need some time to gather your thoughts, maybe decide on how you're going to handle the crazy half or three quarters or whatever, Amazon and their fantasies. Sorry, do you want to be alone? Oh, um, yeah, I can lean down, sure. You're, um, oh my, oh my goodness. Uh, mm, mm. I, wow. I suppose I should wear my hair down more often if you like running your fingers through it so much. Mm. How long have you been waiting for me? Mhm, mhm. You always knew how to make complicated things seem so simple. I can't stop smiling. Gods, is that a yes? Then let's take that big step together.